Welcome back to Hidden Ways to Reimagine Successful Family Relationships. My name is Paulina Weto, and in my videos, I rely on the premise that there is no single perfect relationship. There is no perfect and successful relationships, and there is no magical way to achieve a success relationship. It depends on what you make of it, and it depends on what you understand by successful family relationships. So what I do in my videos is just to get you to reimagine, to think about, and also to reflect about what you can actually do, to make your relationship successful. Like I said, it's got to be defined by you, and in defining it, it's also linked to what your purpose is, and what you really want to achieve in life. So, and some of my videos, I use my lived experience as well. I really don't rely so much on possibly research, even though I have a research background, but most of my videos are based on what I've actually experienced in life. And I try to use that to just get you to do the reflection, because there is no copy and paste situation when it comes to what we need to do in order to find success and fulfillment in our relationships. For the past few weeks, I've been reflecting on a series called the Same Page, different books. And then the last time I actually looked at the importance of having to possibly enroll on higher education or completing a degree as a way of actually navigating through some of the conflicts or some of the conflictual, situations we find in family relationships. Last week, I also looked at some of the benefits, for example, of having to go for a degree. I specify a degree because I am in the higher education sector, but it's all about your personal development. When you come, you start your relationship, for example, maybe formalized in a marriage. Some of those skills you thought brought you into the relationship might not be enough for you to continue in the relationship. So some of the advantages I looked at enrolling in a degree, especially as a mature student, you have your clearer career goals. So you know exactly what you want. And then again, it is really very, very clear for you. And then again, you also have the life experience. We are not looking at work experience, we are looking at life experience. So which means you've already have a lot of experience. For example, if you've taken care of children, yes, this is what I've been able to do. This is what I can actually progress with, in terms of career. And then again, there is that personal fulfillment of possibly, achieving a degree. That is very, very important. Some of you possibly have that life ambition of completing a degree, especially as women. You now had to put that aside because you needed your children to grow. And of course, as they grow up, or as they are grown up, it's an opportunity also to follow a clear, career path, or maybe start a degree, which is also a way of achieving your personal and also professional fulfillment. And again, as mature students, there is also the flexible entry requirements, especially if you have, significant, work experience in the sector. You might also be looking at maybe a career change, which is very, very important. And again, it could be also an exciting and a new adventure, like I mentioned last week, because sometimes, it could be quite a pressure in a family, especially as women, if you're just at home all the time. You're just sitting at home, taking care of the children, completing the domestic chores and all that. So having to go out maybe on a daily basis, or just going out to try to develop yourself could actually enrich the quality of your relationship as well. And it could take some pressure off the conflict you would normally have. And then again, I personally believe that, once you enroll, to do a degree, you are able to support your children better on an educational journey. We have children who are studying, different courses in university or even in the secondary school, and we are not able to support them. So this will also be a way of supporting your children. And again, it's also a way of being a role model. You are a role model for your children because they know you investing and developing yourself. And in that case, they also want to do the same thing. And again, you are able to contribute, financially to your family, because sometimes it could be a conflict in a family because maybe there is only one person, bringing, money, contributing financially, and normally, the man or the father is the financial head of the family. But again, we know that things have changed, gradually across the year. So the man is no longer just the only person bringing money. Sometimes there are also, situations where, the men have to be at home, and again, the women have to go out to get money. And again, we're living in a time, especially if you live in a place like UK, both salaries are no longer enough, so it will also be very, very important, that in order to take financial pressure of the family, it will be good also, especially as women, to embark on a career. So these are some of the points I looked at last week. And then bringing it back to our reflection on being on same page, different books. Today I want to talk about ambition versus contentment. Because if you're a woman and you're watching this, and yes, you resonate with what I'm saying, you would be that ambitious, woman. But again, being ambitious would also put some kind of pressure on your family, because some of you might come from a culture where maybe the man just expects you, to be at home and don't really want you to go and develop a career, or maybe be ambitious. Somehow women who are ambitious come across as women, who are, who are not really women, put it that way. Ambitions doesn't come traditionally as an attribute of a woman. But of course, I believe, in this day and age, women should be as ambitious as men. So being an ambitious woman could actually put some pressure on your family. But when you have an ambitious man, unfortunately, the side doesn't frown on it. And if a man, for example, decides to forward or to change his career or to be ambitious, it is just taken as business as usual. But if it is a woman who wants to be ambitious, who wants to be a career woman, or want to improve herself and, show some kind of ambition, somehow the society frowns on that. And it's like she has to make a choice, between being ambitious or being a woman, or being a family woman as well. But again, we also have successful cases where women have been able to juggle between having a successful, family, but at the same time also pursuing a very, very, important career. But of course, it's all about a balancing act. We all have, prices we have to pay. We all have, different ways we have to navigate through this. Like I said, there is no one clear-cut, solution. People just do what works for them. I think where people actually miss it is when they say, "Oh, this has worked for that person, it's going to work for me." That is not the case. So looking at ambition versus contentment, you might be in a relationship where, for example, one of the partners is just content, is just happy. It's not thinking of making any kind of growth. It's not thinking about tomorrow. They just go with the flow. They just, there's no ambition. Yeah, I'm just okay. I'm just content. If I haven't got enough money to do my shopping, I just, so sometimes there are people who actually thrive on routine that way. They just basic. They just, very satisfied with life. And actually, I'm beginning to smile because it's like for quite a very, very long time, I was a very, very routine person. I just love my routine. I'm just able to live within my salary. But again, as time went on, I practically became really fiercely very, very ambitious, because you need to be able to progress in life. And like I said, whatever got you to where you are is not going to make you survive. So you need more skills. You need other things you have to do in order to be able to move to the next level. There's nothing like being in the same place. That is also what I have learned from life. We are never in the same place. We also keep changing all the time. So yeah, some people just love their routine, just want to be where they are. But again, like I said, talking from experience, I was that kind of person. Just loved my job, just loved teaching. But again, if you don't want to make those changes, sometimes those changes would happen to you. And that was my experience as well. So, and then again, that was something that got me thinking that I really need to be very, very ambitious, and also need to be very, very strategic about what I want to achieve in life. So if you are that kind of routine person, I just want to encourage you that yes, routine sometimes is good. You believe in stability, you don't like to take any risk, and that was the kind of person I was. I still don't like taking risk, but again, I am very strategic also about my routine, and also very, very ambitious about where I want to be and where I want to see myself. So, but again, if you're in a relationship, it could also be a cause of conflict, especially for women. The children are growing up, and you want to go, to complete a degree. Sometimes it might cause, conflict. It might be a point of disagreement, and again, it could make or break your relationship. But again, when you talk about, this ambition, it hasn't just got to do with having to take a degree. Maybe your partner, maybe your husband, gets, promoted at work. Again, promotion also comes with greater responsibilities. And again, greater responsibilities also means taking more time away, from the family. So as a woman, you might celebrate him. Yes, he's bringing in more money. He's got a better position at work. But again, there is a cost. So are you able to accept, what it's going to cost you, for your partner or for your husband, to progress in his career? Because there is a cost, to everything, we do. There is always a cost. So sometimes, yes, you might celebrate him, but again, when you begin to feel the pinch of your husband or partner being absent, away from home, starting maybe early morning, meetings, going for work, dinners and all that, or possibly traveling. Again, there's going to be a toll, on the family. And then as time goes on, even though it was something you accepted at the beginning, you might begin to resent him because it's going to cost you more. He's going to be more absent, from the family. The responsibilities of the children are going to be more on you. He might not be around to do the school runs, anymore. So that pressure is going to be on you as well. So sometimes these things have got to be really very, very, they have to be clarified. But again, a way to go about this is not, yes, you resent him, and then again, yes, now I also want to further my career. I also want to go into higher education, because, this is what he's getting, and then I want, something similar for myself. I think it's very, very important as a family to clarify these goals, these kind of situations that could lead to conflict in the family. So sometimes, when you have two people in a relationship, one is ambitious, the other one is not ambitious, sometimes a mix of the opposite works. Sometimes it's practically on the contrary, that when both people have got a similar drive, it also, works better. I tended to believe that, opposites do attract. But again, we have the society, today to prove to us that yes, sometimes when you have contrast, when you have strong contrast, sometimes it works better for those who are quite contrast, or even those who have maybe similar ambitions as well. So I really want you to begin to think about these things, and then once there's some kind of ambition gap in the relationship, it can put a pressure on the relationship. So these are some of the points I just wanted to reflect on this. So think about, for example, your career goals, if they're really very, very clear, and also be very, very strategic about what you want to do. Sometimes some people just freak out because they don't see beyond today. It's like, oh, we take life as it comes. When tomorrow comes, I see what I'm going to do. So it's good to be very, very strategic, and it's also good to sit down as a family to begin to see, yes, where do we go from there? So there's nothing that is impossible if spouses come together to make plans about where they want to be. It's all about having to navigate those changes together. It's all about having to be prepared for those changes, because a promotion at work is a change. And then again, having to start a university degree is a change. And I think the major conflict we have in relationship is when that change comes. And those are some of those areas that will put, pressure on our relationship. But again, once you plan for those changes, by the time those changes come, you already have ways to mitigate, some of those areas of pressure. And then it is actually, better for you to be able to navigate those conflicts. So once you have a plan, then you expect them, you're able to manage your expectations, and then again, you know what you're going into. It doesn't mean there are not going to be conflicts, but again, once you go into it intentionally and you know exactly, what you signed up for, I think it is better. It is easier. It doesn't mean it's totally the difficulties would be wiped away, but again, you are able to make preparations. You are able to manage your expectations. Hopefully, I've been able to address some of the key points I wanted to address today. The benefits, for example, of going into higher education to complete a degree as a way of personal and professional fulfillment. And then again, the kind of challenges that could come in a relationship where one person is ambitious and where the other person just thrives on routine. Okay. So I personally believe, coming to the end of this video, that there is no one perfect, solution. There is no one perfect magical way of going about it. It is about what you make of it. It is your individual solution, and again, it is your individual problem, so it's going to be also your individual solution. So you don't look for your solutions outside, you look for your solutions within, and those solutions are actually integrated. They are imbibed in your own individuality, and again, in your own identity and purpose. So I look forward to seeing you in my next video, where I will be reflecting on another area of conflict or pressure in family relationships. Bye-bye.